So we have a video here to show you about what we do. And I have to find the video. Oh. Oh, okay. Can everybody see this?
Every Code the Dream student has their own story.
A year ago, I was working in a grocery store, and I felt like this wasn't the life for me.
I graduated high school with a 4.4 GPA, but because I have DACA, I was not able to go to college.
My family had to leave our home in Bhutan and spend 16 years in a refugee camp in Nepal before we could finally come here.
Code the Dream students have been through a lot, but they're already making a big difference.
The first app I worked on for Code the Dream was to help recently homeless families. So we created a rideshare app. It's like Uber, but free, and for people who really need it.
Right now, I am making improvements on an app in helping the migrant farm workers.
Now with Code the Dream, I just finished building a website for a nonprofit that helps promote affordable housing, and now I'm coding my first mobile app.
We all have talent, now we have experience, and we're making an impact.
All right. All right. So Code the Dream, what we offer is our training in computer programming for underrepresented people, as I said before, including immigrants, people of color, and women. These are people that really have been barred access from the tech world. And Code the Dream is really trying to help kind of diminish those barriers that keep them from impacting the tech world and having a presence there. And part of the classes includes a program where they could have a paid apprenticeship for some of the class graduates, where they can gain real work experience by building the apps and web technologies for communities in need. We really look for projects that can do social good. And so we're trying to help people do good, and so they can. Lori, have you returned? Yeah, would you like to take over? This
I am back.
Your wheelhouse here.
Sure. I'm sure you're doing great, Lydia, but sure. Yeah, so it looks, which part are you on?
We just watched the 1-minute video. We're talking about what Code the Dream offers right now, if you can see the screen.
Yep, great. So yeah, so like Lydia probably said, yeah, we do offer, the whole program is based on the fact that we offer free training in computer programming for folks who are underrepresented in the tech world. And really, we've got, several goals with that. One is to actually increase the diversity within the tech industry. And also, we really want to give people a kickstart to jumpstart their own tech careers. And I think, like I was hearing Lydia say, we definitely also want to create projects in our Code the Dream labs that are contributing to a better world. So following the classes, we do have an apprenticeship for some of the percentage of the class graduates and which they're working on real projects. And that's where kind of the heart of Code the Dreams program is, because that's when they're really gaining that deep experience building actual apps. And then our apprentices, after about a year, will go on to get their own jobs as developers in tech. So you can go on to the next slide. Yeah, this slide sort of describes our model. Basically, we see it as just a win-win with a dual impact. So the first is an impact on our students and apprentices themselves, so as the doors to opportunity are really opened. And then the second impact is on the communities that benefit from the apps that we're building. So yeah, we think it's a pretty cool model. There's lots of programs out there that are actually teaching coding, but there's not as many that are actually providing the real life experience that it takes to actually go out and for someone to be able to get a job afterwards. You can go to the next slide. These are some examples of some of the projects that apprentices have built through Code the Dream. Mariposa, and you can see all of these on our portfolio site, so codethedream.org on our website /portfolio. And you can see some links and or at least descriptions of some of these projects. So Mariposa AR was actually a really cool project we did last year with the City of Durham and the North Carolina Museum of Art, which was an augmented reality app for some public art murals. We also have done a few different projects related to folks who are survivors of domestic violence or intimate partner violence, as well as a number of different projects that are working with migrant and seasonal farm workers. One, ConectateCarolina.org, is an app that's designed for farm workers living in rural areas to get connected to services and resources in their areas. And another, Vamos Outreach, is an app that's designed for organizations that serve migrant and seasonal farm workers to help them track their outreach efforts. Upstate, this one in the corner here, know what laws are being passed, the one in the bottom left corner. That's a really cool app. It's called Upstate, or and the website is keepupstate.com. And it actually, there's a lot of work going on with this one right now because the North Carolina General Assembly, our state legislature, just opened back up. And this is an app that tracks bills and legislation that's going through the state. And so we have one of our staff coders working on that right now. You can go to the next slide. This is just a brief overview. We won't, I can send this out later, so we don't need to, go read over everything right now, but this is just a brief profile of Code the Dream right now, and the way that we're sort of in this kind of big growth spurt right now. But yeah, we have about 22 current developers who are apprentices with us. And yeah, E has been one of the amazing mentors in our classes, and we've got one class going, 2 that just finished, 2 more that are just about to get started up. So, and all of this really is made possible by all of the amazing volunteers who are really helping to power our program. You can go ahead to the next slide. This gives you just a little outline of the path of that Code the Dream participants are on. So starting out in our classes, and again, there's just so much more demand than we have the capacity for right now, because our classes are free. That's certainly one, huge reason. But it is a demanding program, and it's only a small percentage of students will go on to become apprentices with us. And only a small percentage of applicants actually become students with us. So we've got our classes, and then a small percentage will go into the internship or apprenticeship, we call it. Another small percentage will go into what we call the practicum, which is a part-time program. The internship is a full-time paid low stipend, but they do get a stipend for participating. The practicum is and I highlight the practicum because that's another area where we need volunteers and we'll talk about that in a minute. And the practicum, it's a 3-month program that happens after the classes that graduates can participate in to gain more experience working on real life projects. Through the course of the internship apprenticeship, there's lots of opportunities for professional and personal growth for our interns, apprentices, as they go on to seek jobs as software developers. The job search process can happen at many different times. We actually just had a student who said, sorry, I can't finish my final project because I just got a job. So there's sometimes people, it's not as common, but sometimes people are even seeking jobs while they're in classes. But the internship is approximately a year long, though people do start looking for jobs at different times. You can go to the next slide. Oh, so here is where we get to talk about our volunteer opportunities. And again, I really apologize for my technical difficulties, and I think that's probably going to put us a little behind schedule. So I hope you guys are okay staying a little longer. Yeah, so I think Lydia is now going to describe our volunteer opportunities. And I'll just say before that, we've got lots of opportunities to volunteer, but aside from volunteering, especially those of you who are in the area in North Carolina, we're always looking for, for people to hire. Actually, you don't even have to be in North Carolina. I don't know why I'm saying that. Now that we're national, we have students all over the country. And we do projects for people in many different places. So we're always looking for opportunities. Contact us about contracting with us for software development of your own companies. And we're always looking for people to hire our graduates. So I'll just mention that as Lydia goes into more on the volunteer side.
Yeah. So we have many opportunities to volunteer within Code the Dream. We have some listed there. You mentor the student developers, assist in the classes, lead workshops, even help our interns get practice for technical interviews by sampling them and also serving as a project lead. And so we have another kind of, as Lori had showed you, kind of like the growth that a student could take, the progress in the classes, our different volunteers can fit into each section. For the classes themselves, we have opportunities for volunteers to be mentors. So they will host weekly sessions. They can review assignments, and they can be part of the curricular design team. E is one volunteer who has done all of those and has really made an impact in our changing, trying to finesse our curriculum. Then in the, after the classes have finished, is the internship and the practicum. We really need volunteers to help with our practicum. It is the 3-month period where students who did not become part of the internship, they can still gain that experience. So project leads will be kind of they're the leads. That's it's self-explanatory, and they would kind of like take the reins and help these students through as they work for 3 months to build up this app. Then huddle leaders, or huddles is what we refer to as our workshops. So huddle is kind of the term that we throw around a lot in Code the Dream, but those are the opportunities where we really can help the students' professional and personal growth. They usually have some type of workshop where they provide some kind of like information. We've had, Lori has done one on elections, how to find out, or if you are registered to vote, where you can get registered, and also who is representing you. Also, we've had a series on personal finance. So we're really trying to provide as much information and support for our students so they can go out and get those software developer jobs. And then the next part is helping identify potential employers. So the first one we're going to go really in depth in is the Huddle workshop lead. So this is the lowest time commitment. It's really where you choose your topic to share your expertise with our apprentice developers. It's just a one-time commitment, or it can be a whole series. We had Jason Berger from BB&T Bank did a 3-part series on personal finance. The usual time is going to be Thursdays at 12:30 Eastern on Zoom, but that we can be flexible with that. They usually last an hour long, but again, we are very flexible. Whatever is best suited to you, we can. That's what we try to do. So past topics have included technical skills, career readiness, like resume writing, interview practice, learning more about tech fundamentals. We have an ongoing series right now on containers. I'm not a software developer, so I don't really know what that means, but our apprentices assure me that it's interesting. And then we also like to hear from other tech developers and hear their tech journey and their career, so they can share their advice and their experience with our interns, so they can have that support and knowledge. Now we get into the class mentors. We're slowly, gradually kind of showing the kind of time commitment each of these takes. Class mentors are really needed for 16-week classes. And we have several different classes that cover the programs. Intro to Programming is the web basics that focuses a lot on JavaScript, HTML, CSS. Then we have front end, which is JavaScript and React, and then back end, which is Ruby on Rails. So mentors are responsible for leading hour-long mentor sessions once or twice a week. That's when you are in there with the students who will sign up for your session, and you will get to speak with them over Zoom. You will help them with their daily assignments, answer any questions, and look over their code sometimes. And then there's another aspect to that is the assignment review, is that where you help grade the assignments each week and help assess the overall progress of the students, so we can see who's progressing where.
Lydia, if I could just add one thing.
Yeah.
I think we actually want to separate these out. It has been
Okay.
sometimes that that mentors have also been grading, but I think we want to add in that if somebody does not have the same time commitment, in fact, this could go on the lower time commitment, but we are always in need of people to actually just review assignments. So because we don't usually ask that of mentors, though some people have done that, they are two sort of distinct things. All the students are submitting their work via GitHub, and we do need people to regularly be going in there, checking their repos, seeing what their code looks like, and helping assess the progress of that student. So that I'd like to keep that as a separate.
Okay, I was just thinking about Mary Alice, who seems to do like everything. She's just awesome. Not required. We would be happy if you guys just want to do an assignment review and class mentor, or either or.
That's right. But yes, you're also welcome to do both.
Oh yeah, always encouraged. And next is project lead, which is considered the biggest time commitment because it is a 3-month-long project where you are in charge of leading the students or interns through the creation and deployment of an app. And you'll be in charge of leading Scrum meetings, and it depends on your schedule, but usually you'll spend around 10 to 8 hours per week working with the students and working with the app, and it requires a proficiency in React, JavaScript, or Ruby on Rails. So now you can hear from the mentors themselves. We have created this video. Could everyone hear and see that? Is it still going? We good? All right.
My name is Oscar Romero, and I am a backend engineer at Red Ventures. I recently volunteered as a huddle leader for Code the Dream, and what I did, I ended up creating a presentation to share about my coding journey with the current cohort at Code the Dream. It was an amazing experience, to be quite frank, about being able to connect with people that come from a similar background as I, I have DACA, and being able to connect with an organization that is promoting more dreamers in code is simply amazing. I was able to share about the different avenues that I took through my career and share with them and answer questions that the cohort had, as well as hearing their perspective about what their journey has been up to this point and what they're looking forward to. I made a couple of different acquaintances that have now turned into people I reach out to, and friends that I continue to connect with and look forward to hearing about their accomplishments. So it was simply amazing getting to connect with aspiring engineers, aspiring programmers, coders, whatever they end up being at the end of the day. It was just magnificent and amazing that Code the Dream puts all these people together to dream big and move forward.
Hi, my name is Joshua Adams. I'm a technical recruiter with VACO here in the Raleigh-Durham area. I led multiple huddle sessions with Code the Dream. Basically what we did was we asked about 50 participants or students to ask questions about what they're looking for as far as in the job market, what's things to look for in the interview, what are some tips to help them out just on practice things. And basically what we did is each huddle we broke down those questions and I answered the questions live. People could ask questions real time, and at the end we did a Q&A session and we left time to answer those questions, and then we did multiple sessions, and then after that we set up mock interviews where we were able to interview at least 20 people and help them out with their LinkedIn profiles, with just their soft skills and things like that. I feel like I want to continue to work with Code the Dream. It was a great experience. I guess the number one thing to take away from it was just being able to help people that are looking for a new role, that are hungry, that are ready to get into the working world and use what they learned in school. And I feel like that's the number one takeaway that I have. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Kritika and I work at Visa. I was recently a class mentor for Code the Dream's Sunrise Coding Bootcamp. And as part of this, I mentored students on a range of web development and backend topics like programming in HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Ruby, and SQL. So at a more granular level, I'd run mentor sessions every week where students could come in and ask questions they had about their assignments. So we'd walk through the assignments and we'd review concepts in the curriculum. I also got an opportunity to coach them on good coding and design practices wherever necessary. I was also involved in helping them refine their ideas for their final project. So all in all, it was a fantastic experience. I learned a lot. It was personally enriching, and I would recommend everyone watching this video to sign up as a mentor. Apart from being a very fulfilling experience, the fact that you get to empower so many students from diverse backgrounds, break into a career in technology, and in some small way help them get their dream job is really worth the effort. If not for anything, if you're deeply disturbed by the lack of inclusion in tech today, here is your chance to be a part of the solution. Thank you.
Hi, my name is E. Thompson, and my pronouns are they, them. I'm a senior software engineer at Carewell, and I started mentoring with Code the Dream in June of 2020. As a mentor, I've led weekly hour-long sessions with students to review learning objectives, to provide guidance with assignments, and to answer any questions students may have. This experience has been tremendously fulfilling for me. I've had the opportunity to teach about programming, mentor students one-on-one, and participate in process improvement and curriculum design. And I would recommend volunteering at Code the Dream to anyone who has a little extra time and wants to give back to the community.
Hi, my name's John McGarvey, and I was for many years a developer and software architect I'm now retired, but I volunteer and have for several years with Code the Dream. In volunteering, I've taken on several roles. I've been a mentor for students taking classes, and I'm currently principally engaged as a project lead for the extended practicum projects that the students do at the completion of their classes. The extended practicum gives them time to work as a team to build an actual production and application that will be deployed and supported by Code the Dream. So I really enjoy it because you can see students grow and acquire the ability to work as teams, acquire proficiency in all of those skills that they learned in the course of their classes, and in how to handle Git, including such things as merge conflicts with Git.
Great. Is it back to me now, Lydia?
Yes, I believe so.
Great. Well, that was awesome. You guys got to see E even, and with their advice and experiences. I just want to emphasize now, we're going to now go into just briefly about the impact of volunteering, and then mostly focus on the current needs that we have right now, and then we'll open it up for questions and conversation. But just to say that, you know, there really is a huge impact from volunteers. Code the Dream is a growing organization, but in many ways, we the amount of I personally am pretty impressed by the amount of work we can do with the limited staff we have, and the reason we're able to do all of that is because of our volunteers. We simply could not have gone through with a national expansion, really trying to expand the number of students who are able to take our classes, and the number of apprentices who are able to go through our program, and just really continue that direct impact on our program participants without volunteers who help and support our program, especially as class mentors. So these are just, you guys can read them, and but these were some quotes, you know, by different students who went through programs. I'll just read one. You know, so you know, these months at Code the Dream have been incredible. I've learned a lot, and if it weren't for the mentors, their hard work, their love for teaching, sharing their knowledge, this would not have been possible. Mentors, thank you for helping us fulfill our dream of becoming software engineers. And I think that's what this program is all about, and what the mentoring experience hopefully is all about, is helping fulfill those dreams. So, in terms of our current needs, and we're saving the mentor stuff for the last, because that's sort of our biggest need, but so I just want to mention, in terms of huddles, that's an ongoing need. We are always looking for people, especially who have not had a traditional path to becoming a developer. We're always looking for folks to share their story, to share their to share a specific technical skill. Like Lydia said, right now there's a whole series going on about containers. So we, like Lydia also said, we have done a number of huddles that are focused on non-technical and non-tech aspects of life. But then we're also always looking for ways that our student developers can really enhance their technical experience as well through workshops. So if you're interested in that, that's a great. We are always in need of people who can, you know, step in for an hour a week in that way. If you're interested in being a project lead, that's also great. It is a higher time commitment, as John mentioned in the video, and we are looking for people to, especially for our practicum projects. If they're in certain circumstances, we might also consider someone to actually lead one of our apprentice projects. But for the most cases, it's after our classes have ended when we're looking for people to help lead our practicum projects. And then, yeah, we have an ongoing need for career support. I have one of my goals over the next year or so is to really create a space where developers are able, professional developers are able to come in and give advice to our students and interns on a more regular basis. Maybe, you know, regular reviewing of resumes, or, you know, practicing those technical interviews. All of those kinds of things. We're really looking for more people to get involved with that aspect. But our biggest need is with our classes. So I want to just share a little bit of information about our upcoming class. We have 2 classes coming up. We've got a Ruby on Rails class, March 17th through July 7th, and an Intro to Programming class that is JavaScript. It does include JavaScript, but is also kind of more broader programming principles, as well as HTML, CSS. And that is March 31st through July 21st. We're going to need about 10 mentors for each class, maybe fewer for the Ruby on Rails class, but approximately 10 mentors. And we're going to need probably 5 graders for each class, and that are the assignment reviewers. So we would love to recruit all of you, as well as you know, your colleagues as well. To be vendor, you do need to have a pretty good, you know, you're teaching, you're helping to guide and teach someone else. So we need your skills either in Ruby on Rails or in JavaScript and eventually React. We need you to have strong skills in those areas. We are going to have a mentor orientation in about a month or so, and we are in the middle right now of some curriculum revisions, though you can take a glimpse of what our current curriculum looks like if you well, you can find out information about our upcoming classes at codethedream.org/classes, or we're giving you a sneak peek here to our Code the Dream school site, which is learn.codethedream.org, and you can sort of see how the classes are currently laid out. We do use videos from Treehouse, which is a company in Oregon. That's what we use for our video content. And yeah, as has been mentioned, we use GitHub to submit assignments. So yeah, I think let's open it up for questions now. Yeah, feel free to unmute and ask a question or share a comment. Or love to know, you know, how this, it's been a lot of information, but love to hear how it landed with everyone.
Thanks, Lori and Lydia. A question about the practicum. Is that the same time commitment as the apprenticeship, or is that different?
The practicum is approximately 3 months. The internship is a year long, approximately. Again, it sort of depends, but the practicum is a much smaller, narrower project. That's about 3 months.
And still about like 8 to 10 hours a week?
Yes, yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry if our language gets a little bit confused. When we say internship, this is where we're actually trying to shift our language a little bit. When we say internship, that is the same as our apprenticeship. So that's the year-long full-time program that has a stipend associated with it. The practicum is the 3-month experience that's part-time. And now, you know, the 8 to 10 hours is a little, it's hard to say. It kind of depends on the project. I think we have one going right now that a volunteer is leading, and I don't think, to be honest, I don't think he spends near that amount of time, but we want people to take it seriously because it's a real project for a real client. It's a small project, but you know, we want to make sure that there's some level of seriousness there. Does that answer your question?
Yeah, that makes sense. Thanks.
I have a question as well. So I received an email from Lydia that you've never that you've never hired someone outside the US. And my question is if that is a problem, because for example, I could only do remote things.
Sure.
But as a time zone, I don't believe that it should be any problem. I'm only 2 hours ahead, and I'm really fine with that. if that's okay by you.
I think that's probably more up to you. If you can meet the commitments of, you know, the program, then I don't really see a problem with that. I think, you know, obviously the further the time zone goes, the harder it is. We have students and apprentices currently in the U.S. In Eastern time zone, Central time zone, and Pacific time zone. So you know, it's already a wide range. So I'm a little bit reluctant for, say, you know, someone from Europe or in other countries far east. I feel nervous because then it would really stretch out our time zones. But I think as long as, you know, you're comfortable with that, I guess I don't really see a problem with it. I don't know. E, do you have any thoughts about that?
No thoughts really. I mean, I guess it depends what you're helping with, like the class sessions. It's up to you when you're available, and so can probably be pretty flexible with scheduling your volunteer time around that, and really flexible schedules good for the students as well. So like we have some sessions that are during the days, some that are in the evenings, some that are on the weekends. When it comes to probably the practicum and the project lead, it's probably gonna be tougher to have that flexibility, but for class mentorship, we already have a pretty big schedule.
That's a great point. And in fact, if somebody was in a very different time zone, but wanted to help out with assignment review, I mean, that doesn't matter when you do it. So
My question is simply because since I'm only waiting for my visa, I'm not really working, so my time is really flexible. So whenever you need, I'm pretty sure I'm available.
Awesome. Wow, that's great. Thanks. And I'm sorry if you already said this, but what's your tech stack?
Sorry?
What are the programming languages that you work in?
I worked in front end, so I have experience in React and JavaScript, but I'm pretty comfortable working with C, C++, Rust, anything. I really enjoy studying programming language, so I'm really comfortable with whatever the student might need.
Awesome. Great. Thanks. Other questions or comments or thoughts? Have some of you volunteered in this way before with other programs?
I have not, but I had a question on the grading of assignments. How are those typically graded?
Sure, and E can actually maybe take some of this. We want to say that as I mentioned, we are in the process of revising the curriculum, so this could change over time. But right now, basically the way that the classes work is that students are assigned videos on a specific topic that they watch on their own time. And those are videos from Treehouse. And then they watch the videos. There's some exercises that they do as part of those videos, but then we assign them or we give them an assignment, a coding assignment, and that they have to use what they've learned through the videos to actually complete the assignment. They submit it through GitHub, and then whoever's reviewing the assignments has to go in, open it up and basically look at their code and see, how does that look, and offer them some critique or some suggestions like, oh, well, you could tighten things up here, or, oh, that doesn't work. There's a couple different ways you could do it, but that's sort of generally how it's working. E, I don't know if you want to speak to that at all.
Sure. So the assignments, students have like a different assignment every week or two, and the ones at the beginning generally have like right and wrong answers. They're learning the fundamentals of coding, and so it's like write a function that prints out this string, and then as they progress, they're sort of just building more websites and open-ended dynamic assignments. And so there's kind of just a list of requirements of what the assignment does, and then grading that just really means going into GitHub, downloading the code and running it on your computer and kind of seeing if it checks the boxes essentially. And then if it checks the boxes, is there feedback you can give the student in certain areas of the code and how they actually built it. And so the time for doing assignment grading also increases. And so part of our revisions that we're doing right now is, instead of switching up the assignment completely every couple of weeks, have them sit with an assignment for longer, to where they're kind of working on the same code base and adding to it, to hopefully help us with it not taking as long to assess their work. And we're already familiar with what they're building. And so there'll be some changes there, but yeah, it kind of just depends on the assignment at the moment.
Okay, thanks a lot.
Other questions or thoughts?
For the classroom mentoring, how big are the cohorts per mentor usually?
Yeah, that's a great question. And I don't want E to answer this, because E's experience is a little different, because everyone would sign up for E's mentor sessions, no matter how many people, no matter how many times we tried to limit it. E was a very popular mentor. No, but our original goal was to have it about five or less people. We had a very large class in our last cohort, so I think it would sometimes stretch to 8. But the goal is to have it. If we have, it sort of depends on how many mentors we get. But the goal would be to have around 5. And it would, we've experimented with different ways. It changes. So you're sometimes, you can choose, as a mentor, you can choose the time that works best for you. And, so say you want to do, Monday morning, Monday night to 7 p.m. or whatever. It's often that the same students also have that time available, so the same students might come. But we decided to open it up so everybody knows when all the mentor sessions are, in case someone misses one of their regular ones, so they can come or whatever. But they're supposed to sign up so you know who is planning to come to your session. And if you want it, you don't have to. If you want it, we can give you access to the student records so that you can see how they're doing if you want to review, each student who's coming to your session in advance. But
great, thanks.
Okay. Great. All right. Any other questions? Are people ready to sign up? We can go on to next steps. Or do people feel like this is sort of what you were expecting? Is it sort of in your, in the general space of what you were hoping? All right. Let's go on to next steps, Lydia. Oh, you might want to share your screen.
Yep.
Basically, this is just what to do next. So if you are ready to sign up as a mentor or assignment reviewer, there is the link. Don't sign up if you're not sure yet. You can just wait. You can send us an email and say, that was great and very interesting, but I'm not sure yet. Use this to sign up, please, when you're ready. When you're ready to sign up, because this is going to be the list that we use for knowing who are our confirmed mentors. So yeah, if you're ready, go for it. We would love to see your names on there. Yeah, tiny.cc/CTD mentor will take you to an Airtable form. If you have decided, Lydia, I'm sorry, you go ahead. You take the next ones.
Yeah, so if you're interested in leading a workshop, being a huddle leader, you can email me about your preferred topic. I have access to kind of our huddle schedule, and I can work with you to find out, the day that would best suit you, the times, and also just go ahead and get talking about what the presentation would be like. And then if you want to be a project leader, that is going to be Lori's wheelhouse. You will email her, talk about your tech stack, and she will discuss with you the possible projects that you could be leading upcoming. That we have a class ending soon, so there's a couple projects that need leaders soon, right? By high noon?
Well, yeah, but I think we're already set with those.
Already set?
I think so, yeah. So yes, it would actually probably be a little while before before we had another practicum starting, though we're always looking for, you know, if you're interested in being a project lead on one of a Code the Dream project, that is something we could talk about. People who volunteer with Code the Dream often start as a huddle leader or a mentor. We always need mentors. And of course, now we're separating out assignment reviewer as well. So, so yeah, that's, I think, where we would suggest but yeah, we want to know what you're interested in. And yeah. Great. Did anyone need the dates again for the classes? Good. And we can send out this presentation as well, so you can have access to it.
That'd be very helpful, I think. Thanks.
Okay. Great. Thanks.
Just one question. Do you have a time limit to sign up for the mentorship and assignment reviewer?
That's a good question. I think I think we're shooting to have a mentor orientation towards the end of February. So about, you know, within the next couple weeks, I think we're going to try to get our mentors settled. But that would be, I don't know, within the next 3 weeks. So yeah, that would be the deadline, I guess. And JP, if you're looking for stuff to do, we can maybe have another conversation with some of our development team if you're just interested in, I don't know, doing some other stuff.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
That'll be awesome.
Okay, cool. Great. All right. Well, thank you guys so much. Really appreciate the opportunity to talk with you all. And I often like to do a just sort of for a closing, to just sort of go around, and if you want to share one word that you're carrying away with you, that might be a nice way to close. And my word will be relieved for my internet coming back. JP, do you want to
go? Sorry?
Do you want to share one word that you're carrying away from this little volunteer meeting?
Yeah, I'm excited. I believe this will be really, really awesome. Really cool.
B, do you want to share?
JP stole my word, so I'll think of a different one. A bit of relief too.
Great, thanks. Javon, would you like to share?
Curious. I like to kind of dig in deeper so I can kind of see how things actually work. It's a different thing to see things from the outside looking in, but to actually be on the inside getting the work done, it makes me curious.
Absolutely.
Are we supposed to explain our word, or just leave it at one word?
You can just leave it. If you want to explain, you can. But
okay.
Did you want to share anything else?
Yeah, why not? Relief because I was looking for a group of fellow coders, developers to help out others with. So relieved that I found it.
Great. Jarrell, do you want to share?
I guess my word would be eager. Yeah, I feel eager to help.
Awesome. Thanks. How about you, Mike?
I'll go with impressed. It was really cool to see the testimonials from people going through the programs and also the mentors, and just to see the impact from all the mentorships. It was cool.
Awesome, thanks. And I'm sorry, I did not get to hear you introduce yourself, so I'm probably going to botch your name, but Jin Rang?
Yeah, I'm Cyril. Yeah, and my word is inspired. I was amazed by like there's so many ways we can help students.
Thank you. Ernest?
For me, I'll say I'm very excited by what you're doing and the program that you have, and I'm so excited to see people trying to help others to meet their dreams. And yeah, that's all. And yeah, I'll text Lydia more about me, because I'm a self-taught software engineer. I did education, mathematics and geography, and then now I think interest changed to software engineering, and that's what I do. And I'm very excited to be here.
Awesome, thanks. E, and then Lydia, do you guys want to share as well?
I'd say I'm encouraged to see all this interest in the program and have some new volunteers join the team.
Yay.
Yeah,
All right, why don't you close us out?
I guess I'm just like really happy and proud that this meeting came together, even with the technical difficulties and my own social anxiety about speaking. We got through this, and it seems all of you at least were impacted on some level by what we're doing. And I really hope that you continue learning to learn more and hopefully join us and volunteer with us. So yeah.
And a huge, huge shout out to Lydia for setting everything up, for communicating with all of you, for putting together the video, everything. It's been awesome. Great job.
Thanks. Yeah, so I think that is all we have for you all tonight. So thank you very much for your attendance, and we'll be in touch soon to send out the presentation so you can look through more of that, and we're happy to answer any and all questions that you might come up with later. Thank you.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you.
Night.
Bye.
Thank you.